guys will not believe where we're at. We're in Austin, Texas, but there's a sign right over Nathan's shoulder that says Michael Schumacher, and tell him why.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Formula One, baby.
And we are here to drive a 470 horsepower Jeep Grand Cherokee. That is how we're beginning Jeep Week on TFL Car because, well, it doesn't get any better. And guess who's good to drive it?
That's right.
Coming up next, so stay tuned because Nathan gets to check off an item on his bucket list today.
Hell yeah.
Nathan, can you believe that you're about to go on the same racetrack that, Hamilton dominated in his Formula One car? Oh yeah!
Almost speechless, baby. Almost speechless.
We have 3.5 miles of racetrack with nobody in front of us.
It's almost counterintuitive because you feel the weight, but at the same time, it's willing to just deal with my really, really crappy driving. We're really not supposed to be touching the brakes here, and I got to tell you, I really want to. Whoa!
It's lost the back end, Nathan.
Yeah, I did, and I'm really glad nobody's behind us to see that. These apexes, how do these guys in Formula One cars do this? Lewis Hamilton, you're a pimp! Because I just don't see how it's doable going any faster than I'm going. Whoa! Okay.
Now a fast lap in one of these Jeeps is about...
a little over 3 minutes.
Yeah, a little over 3 minutes. And if I recall, the Formula One guys were doing it in like 1:40. half the time.
That's kind of telling you something right there. Because quite frankly, I just don't see how it's doable, how it's physically possible.
Now, to me, this may sound goofy, but this one, especially in the white, looks like a Cylon or a Stormtrooper. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, Stormtrooper all the way.
It's
Absolutely.
really badass.
Yeah. The face just has this cool,
yeah,
menacing mask to it. There's so much identity to it.
So, as a designer, what was kind of your inspiration? What did you come to the table with?
Well, as the great part about being a designer for SRT is that everything is performance driven. So they always have to function.
Yeah.
So, but we always want to make sure that the aesthetic conveys that level of emotion to it. So, the forms in the hood, the lower mouth, the opening, it's all functional, but it still wants to have this menacing quality to it.
Here comes a straightaway. We should be looking up to 120 miles an hour, Nathan.
My foot's all the way down, baby. This thing has got thrust. Was that 470 horsepower? Okay, 100.
100. Here goes 100.
110.
120, and here comes the braking zone.
Oh, wow, brakes, good brakes.
I love the big Brembos on these Jeeps.
Oh, thank God. It's just that it's, yeah. And I was braking really early, too.
Dude, no balls there. We didn't come into that corner half as fast as we should have.
I know. It's my first lap.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's Nathan's first lap, and on a racetrack, race car drivers will learn the track. This is such a long track.
It's massive.
Yeah, we really don't know where we're at on this track, and Chrysler has been nice enough to set up cones to show you where the brake points are and to show you where the apex is. Without that, we'd be completely lost.
Yeah, we went around with a guy named Marco, professional race car driver, and he was doing this. I mean, I think he was practically whistling while he was doing it, while I was in the backseat freaking out like a little girl.
Yeah, that's because his name is Marco, dude.
I know. If your name is Marco, you're immediately a really good driver.
Let's talk about the interior. Now, I know you spent a lot of time on the steering wheel. It's very beefy. We just got to drive some of the competitor vehicles, and it feels good. Tell me about how you got to the process of designing that steering wheel.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time developing. You know, you spend so much time with this in your hands, and it's so important that it translates everything through the car through that wheel. So just the shape of it alone, we must have done, I'd say, 20 different shapes, and we'd make prototype parts, put them in a car, hold them. Just what's the right. How does it feel in your hands? And obviously there's different size hands too, so we've got to look at all those things. The new paddle shifters, we've made them a little bit longer. The back side of it has a very nice concave surface, so it feels well in your finger. They're made of metal as well, so
they're cold.
It's cold, yeah,
which
and
is nice.
It feels it's substantial.
So if you're wondering why we're wearing helmets, it's because that's a racetrack rule.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't want to. There's nothing in my head to protect, quite frankly.
All right, here we go, dude.
Flat out.
Look at that, coming straight up that big hill. Listen to the sound of that 470 horsepower SRT.
Just pissed off. I love it. I love pissed off cars.
Well, the other cool thing is it's very trackable. You can tell what the back end is doing. It will come around. It gives you a lot of warning. It feels like it's a car that makes you look like a good driver.
You know what it's like? It's kind of like a really big, heavy WRX from Subaru that's kind of unfinished and untamed, yet it's going to save your ass when you're driving as stupid as I am. Because quite frankly, I'm not a track hero. I never said I was, but this is making me drive a lot better than I normally would.
How about the 8-speed transmission?
It's so much better than the 5-speed. It's seamless. I haven't really been using the paddle shifters very much because it's too into shifting better than I could.
So what's your favorite part of the new SRT?
The face. I think the face of the vehicle, it just has so much presence to it. We're really proud of that. We're really proud of the identity that we have.
And how do you design that? I mean, walk me through the process.
There's so many passionate people on SRT, and then within my design team, Ralph's design team as well, and we live it. And when we're not doing it at work, we're at racetracks and we're around cars and things like that. So to me, all of that it's such an emotional thing, designing a car, and especially if it's a performance vehicle, that we put that and it translates into the car of having this level of, I always refer to it as something that gives me goose pimples, when I look at it, because it's so striking, or it has such an emotional presence to it.
And when I need a downshift, it does it. No problems, no muss, no fuss.
Yeah, you know what? Mark does his own shifting, Nathan.
Yeah, I know, because, well, he's a paid professional. You know what I do well? None of that. I just want to get this thing around in one piece so I could brag to all my friends that I was on Circuit of the Americas.
We got the pit lane coming up pretty soon here. That's it right there. All right, then.
Oh, yes! Oh my God, that was so fun.
You look pretty sweaty, Nathan.
Yeah, I think I'm about to pass out.
Nathan, where are you, dude? You're missing out. You could be back on the track. What's going on? There you are. What's up, man?
I think I may have overdone it the last few laps. Woo!
Is this what happens when you live a bucket dream experience?
It's a little much. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right, we'll leave you and your thoughts.
I just need a minute.
All right. As always, this is Roman.
Nathan.
See you next time on the Fast Lane car. Bye, dude. Just chill. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
That is no Lewis Hamilton by any stretch of the imagination. Nathan, do you know what this is?
This is the 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
And do you know where we are at?
We are in sunny Texas.
That's right, Jeep flew us down here to test drive the new Grand Cherokee. And best of all, we know what this thing's like on road.
Yeah, we do, but now we get to take it off-road.
Coming up next on the Fast Lane car.